Am I on?
All right. Hey, what's up, Johnny?
Hey, guys.
Hey, just true to form, I get on the air and we dump right then. I mean, we even waited for a weird time. I mean, we didn't even, it wasn't exactly at 2 or anything, or 2:15 or nothing. I mean, just dump it here. Sure enough, no. Market hears my voice, everybody's shorts.
Yeah, it's not that. It's not that at all. It's just perfect. Perfect.
It would be great, though, if we all could rely on that. I know a lot of people are saying that they can. But it seems to be that way. So
it might pay off. Hey, anyway, you got some interesting stuff on the screen. We haven't really showed this too much, so nope. let's see what we have here. You know, you guys remember the Ultimate Trader Showdown, where we had the futures competition, where two traders trade against each other in the futures DOM, and these are what we call the DOMs, right? Mm-hmm. The market really, which shows the depth of the S&P. You could follow it on the thing. Right now we're trading about 1354, 1353, and you can see right here on the DOMs. So you have two DOMs representing two players, and we're going to start. You know, we wanted to kind of introduce this back into the mix of things because we're going to start getting back into things. So this is a perfect opportunity because, of course, Vankar and FT71 supplying the platforms, and the platforms are excellent. So we're going to go over that, and that's why we're going to have. No, I'm going to let you actually take over that show here, because you did such a good job setting this up in the back end. I like the banners you got on the bottom too.
Yeah, that's kind of a mock-up thing to see what they thought, about it, and see what you thought about it. I try to leave some room at the bottom for the information banner that Brian can be putting up there, like you see on the screen right now. Yes. For everybody who wants to try out that platform, you just click on that link right there in blue at the bottom.
Yeah, you can follow along. Actually, you can follow along. So we have a special thing today because I think FT71 is going to be manning one of the DOMs, right?
Right. I'm logged in on the left with him, and he was.
So if we're looking at the screen, who's who? We should actually have little names underneath them too. Eventually.
Yeah, we could do that. On the left is FT71. He hasn't put any trades on, it looks like, yet, and I've got a demo account for myself just for now on the right hand side. So I don't stand a chance against that guy, but. That's where we have it right now.
Never say that. Never give you. Don't never count short.
Well, we started out when we first logged in. His account was showing negative 900, so I thought maybe he was giving me a head start, but evidently not. He changed accounts. That's why we had a little delay there getting started. So, all right, let's see here. Still there, Johnny?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, I'm trying to get FT in the call here, and I don't see an option to do that. Let's see.
Yeah, FT's in the room. I see him in there. Never count yourself out. This market is. But again, we concentrate on futures as much as we concentrate on stocks. And I always say, futures trading is a good. I always call it like something to have in your holster of different weapons to use against the market. When the market is performing correctly, you're getting good signals. This is a good way of actually profiting off of it. You don't have to get overly, at the hyper trader. You don't have to get, really obsessed with it. But when you do see the opportunities, what a great opportunity, especially because there's no pattern day trading rule.
Yep.
And you get good leverage and stuff, and all these other things that come along with it.
All right, we're trying to get FT on here, get him added into the conversation. All right. You still with me, Johnny?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm going to be just doing some things too. So
says I'm unavailable. I'm definitely available. I'm on the air here, FT. Here we go. Magic of a live broadcast here.
Should I log out, let you log in, and then maybe call back?
Well, yeah, why don't we try that? Let me try to get him on here. And there goes the market tanking, by the way.
Yeah, this is all your fault.
Is the RPM unrally?
Officials, there was no discussions at the G20 meeting about
RPM
any
is taking them like I'm talking about it all the way over in Europe.
So
the G20 is actually talking about it now.
Earlier Guardian story that did catch quite a bit of attention.
They're not using rest. Good going, RPM.
You know, Mark. At the G20 meeting about any plans to use the EU rescue funds to buy.
All right. Well, let me try to call him first, and maybe invite both you guys to call.
All right.
So let me get this thing going. Sorry for the technical difficulties, guys. I've got 3 different Skype programs here, and neither of the 3 are working correctly. All right, so I'm going to go back to the standard.
Also seeing additional slight pressure in the
standard good old-fashioned Skype.
Looking to narrow some of their losses.
All right, here we go.
RPM.
Hey, what's up?
Dang, there you are.
Yeah, finally, right?
Some technical issues.
Always. It's always my fault. The market, too. Was that you dumping a few thousand contracts there?
Not exactly. Not exactly, but I was watching it. I was looking for this retest of the 50-50 area. That seemed to move on news, though.
Yeah, I heard some news coming out there, and I missed it. Did anybody catch what that was? Did you catch what it was, FT?
No, I didn't hear it. I was listening to you.
All right, so I'm going to invite Johnny back into the group call here. Here we go. Some news coming out there. Missed it. Did anybody? There's Johnny.
All right, let me turn off my radio. No, hey, FT. Hey, RPM.
Hey, how are you?
Hey.
Good. Glad. I appreciate FT coming on. I know it's this is a really cool thing to be doing. See how this works out. But yeah, we see the market just dropped off here. I think there was something coming out of the G20 that we heard.
Probably something coming out of RPM.
That's it, man. It's the unrally.
Works every time.
It seems too. You know, as I was telling Johnny, I came on here a very odd time too. It wasn't exactly on the hour or the half hour or whatever, but it just as soon as it heard my voice.
This may be a wild guess, but it might have to do with the times you're covering for Johnny more so than the fact that it's you.
Well, we've got
hearing a lot of popcorn.
Yeah, we've got 16 instances that I've been on during Munchie show and on Friday show, and within 5 minutes of me getting on the air, the market tanked 7 points on the ESL on average.
Wow.
Yeah.
They're going to cover that on Barron's this weekend. So go ahead. So RPM, explain the platform.
Well, we've got the Vankar, the Vankar depth of market, or DOM, the DOM, showing on the left for FT71's account, and we've got one showing that I'm logged into. Actually, I'm not logged into it on the right hand side. To trade on that, I need to log in. That reminds me. But we've got one player on the left, one player on the right, and this is the way the Ultimate Trader Showdown has been in the past, and it's new and improved now, of course, with the Vankar platform now. Big upgrade from what we had before. For one, we have the fonts are a little larger, so you guys should be able to see the ladders and the price levels. You should be able to see that without having to go full screen if you don't want to on your computers. Those people out there watching. If you do want to make it full screen, of course you can do that by hitting the button in the middle. Just hover over the screen, hitting the full screen. But the totals P&L is running at the top right-hand corner of each of the DOMs. Right here you see FT size at 0, and I'm over here reset to 0. And then we have the ladder, with the price action going up and down. Just like your typical, futures trading system. On the left here, we have the POS, which is the position that's current right now. This is 0 and 0 on both sides here. And that'll show us in red, I believe, right? FT71 if it's a short, and it'll show either black or green if it's a long, I believe.
Yeah, it depends on what colors you set it to in the menu on that dome.
Right, I believe we have it set for red for the short, I believe, and then the number of contracts will show. Now, I guess you and I could do a little mock-up competition here if we wanted to. I guess that's the whole idea of this. I'm a little bit embarrassed going up against you.
Oh, come on, dude!
I should have had my order ready before I got on the air, and then
I could get hammered just as easily as you can.
Yeah. But I guess the whole thing about the UTS is what we're going to do is, and Johnny's still working out the details. He's the mastermind behind all the the details and all. But basically, for the first few shows, as we gather the traders who want to compete in this thing, we'll have pairs going against each other, and then we'll work through basically like a competition system to where the winners will wind up on top, someone that's won, and they go up against somebody, and we're going to ultimately filter it all the way to a point to where the winner can go up against Johnny with live real money. Same kind of format. Obviously, we'll promote it a lot more. A lot of people will be watching it, and it'll be, I'm sure a lot of people will be excited about it, but it'll be real live accounts on both sides. And if you beat Johnny trading ES with Johnny's Ultimate Trader Showdown account with his real money in there, we're going to work out some kind of prize system or whatever. I don't know, Johnny. I think we talked about
Yeah. No. Well, basically, yeah. Everything was great on leading up to that point where we're gonna, I think. Well, there's so many good futures traders out there, and we want to be able to give everyone a good shot at, being able to do this. So there's going to be multiple times where, this is going to go on each week, and maybe each week we'll have, a couple of traders going against each other, and the winner of that trader will go up against me. Each account will start off. We're going to start things off with $5,000 in each account, and you get to trade those accounts as your own account. All right. There's going to be a drawdown limit loss that kind of locks you out, or automatic disqualification if you lose a certain amount of money. We're not looking for you to blow up the account. We're looking for you to beat me and take that profit. What the prize is going to be, which I think is fair enough. Trading with your, my money, is basically to just take half the profits, free and clear. So you could turn it into whatever you want to do with no risk. We're going to start off with 5,000 to make sure, there's no technical, issues, and hopefully this thing continues to grow, and eventually we have a $10,000 account, and who knows how far it could go. But that's the basics behind it, because we know that the last time we were doing it, kind of using paper trading, and it just doesn't add that extra, what you need. To really trade the market. There's something that's missing when you're not trading live money. So this is the next best thing we could do.
Yeah, and I think we did get some legitimate criticism before. I mean, everyone liked the previous UTS shows that we did last year, but there was some legitimate criticism. People weren't quite as interested because they were like, well, the platform is the demo platform. It doesn't feel like the real market, and people really didn't have the interest in it. A lot did, but some people had legitimate criticism. So I think a cool thing about the Vankar platform is you guys are going to find out if you test it out. And by the way, the link's right on the screen again if you guys want to check out the Vankar platform. The fills, and I've been playing around with it, probably got a couple hours into playing around with it myself. During market hours, the fills are more realistic. You can watch the price, tap all over, your limit, and it won't fill. It has to sit there for a second. Go ahead, FT.
Let me just give some detail on that. Because the depth of market you're seeing there is fictitious, it's being generated by the sim server. It can only queue an order if it's within the market depth. In other words, right now, if you put in an order at 51.50, you're going to be queued. You're still going to be filled faster than in real life, but it knows where you are in the queue. Now, if you go way outside the market and put in an order, and then the market comes up to that, and there was no depth there, like there were no offers or bids in that area, and then the market comes up to it, you will be the first to get filled, because as far as the computer was concerned, there was nobody there when you got in there.
Right.
So if you're trading within the, the 10 tick depth on the sell side or the buy side, it does queue you just like a market does. I mean, it still moves you up the queue faster than the market would, but it's much more realistic. It might trade a couple of 100, 300 at a price and still not fill you if it's within that market depth.
Right. But everyone's going to be on the same playing field. So, they'll both sides will behave the same, as we go through the preliminary matches, and then it's going to be the real deal, at the end of it. So I think it's very exciting, and I think it's a great upgrade from our previous shows.
Yeah.
Is there anything else? I'm trying to get logged in here to the other one so I could get ready for trading here. Is there anything else that you want to tell us, FT, while I'm doing this?
Not much more. I mean, one of the key elements of this that we offer that's not available elsewhere is the trade analyzer, and that's what I use mainly to control or manage the positions that I have on. It's not shown on the screen, but I use it for my live trading, and so do clients. And this is just a utility that tells you, it's a little window that sits on the side, and it gives you statistics about the trade live in real time where you're in it. It keeps track of what your true average price is. If you're trading a one lot, your average price is going to be the same as what's on the dome. But if you scale out, if you're someone who trades two or more, as you scale out, it takes those profits and it recomputes the average to include those profits so that you get a little more room on the trade. And it's very important, it's very important to keep the trader cool, calm, and collected, because it's constantly giving you the price at which you'd have to exit in order to scratch or have no win or loss on the trade, which varies depending on the size you trade and where you scale in, where you scale out, all that stuff. So one of these times we'll be able to show you how that works, but we're not ready for that right now, I guess.
Yeah, I want to get with you, after the show maybe, and help me with that trade analyzer, and maybe we can integrate that, into the screen during the broadcast, because it sounds pretty fascinating.
Keep an eye on dollar yen.
I think I'm ready to go.
Particularly after the break of 79.
If you are,
to the
sure.
upside.
You want to just drop an order on there somewhere, kind of,
5.
so we can make sure that we're synchronized here.
Also, just
at 79.
Go ahead.
15.
Well, I was going to say, we also, there should be a, parameters to how many contracts normally, like if an FT, you could really describe this well, and when you're trading with an account size of, say, $5,000 versus account size of $10,000, you're going to be able to, buy a certain amount of contracts, and that's going to, kind of, work into your strategy, because a lot of people like to scale in or average down and get into a position. So in this case, when you guys are just opened up to, you guys should have, what do you normally trade, FT? Like if you're trading your account, are you going up to 50 contracts, or are you usually sticking around, what is your guidelines usually that you use?
I trade, depending on the setup, I trade a fair amount of size. I'm not going to say how much, but it is a fair amount of size. The thing is with the demo, we can actually reduce the balance. Like when you first set up a demo account, it gives you $50,000, but your margin rules still apply. So if we want to reduce it to $5,000 for those people coming on, we can do that, and then it limits the number of contracts they can trade, just like they would in their live account. It just applies the normal margin. So you can't add 10 lots at every point while the market's ripping up and say that you're averaging up. It'll actually stop you from being able to add more if you've hit your margin limit. So that's one way to deal with that. But I do trade multiples. I'm a really crappy one-lot trader. I'll just say that up front. I've said it many times, but I do need to trade multiple contracts and scale in and scale out, around the position.
So, I mean, should we set a boundary here? I mean, what do you feel comfortable with? Just I don't want to, undercut your normal thing, because I know that.
So, yeah, that's what I was going to ask RPM. I think maybe do a max of 5.
Okay, I got 2 on now.
That way you get 5 scale outs, or you're already in there.
Yeah.
You're short.
That's
okay.
Perfect. So that's what we're normally talking. We have an account open from 5,000. How many contracts are we looking at, basically?
For 5,000, we get 50% of margin. So you're looking at 2 contracts live with us, and the only reason we do that is to prevent you from getting too much leverage and harming yourself. But obviously, that's something we can always adjust. We do have $500 margins, but very, 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 very. Okay, let's just say nobody has earned that yet. But it is available. So whatever you feel is, for demo purposes, obviously it's not the same as a real live account. But whatever you feel comfortable with, we can use.
Okay. All right. Good. All right. So we'll make it 5 contracts on this, because that's what we were hoping to kind of use during the competition.
Okay.
Good. So again, of course, it would be a timed event. And normally, we noticed that 1 hour and half an hour seemed to be too short during the market. You could have a sideways choppy area, which just doesn't make sense. So we're also thinking of extending the time frame. But for now, we're going to learn more about the platform today. We're going to get some of your commentary. So, just feel free to take it as long as you want, to at least into the close. We don't have much time.
Yeah, it's pretty, and especially now, it's pretty dead. I mean, we're up against a key area here, the midpoint of the day session at 50 with the VIX pushing up. So looks like RPM is short too.
Yeah.
Is that what you've got? Okay.
So where do you see the position? All right, so you see the position size up on the upper left-hand corner there. You see -2 at 1. Does that say at 1?
No, it's actually saying -2 at 1351.00, but because his dome is a little bit squished to fit the screen and the chart, it doesn't show you the whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the price also shows up on the ladder in that little black thing. That's your average price, isn't that right, FT?
Yeah, how come it's not colored?
I don't know. I just got my fill, by the way. I got $100 on it. I just put a bracket in and it did its thing. You know what? I need to get with your other guy on that. He sent me a coloring XML file for the so it would color.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. You can actually change that whenever by hitting the sprocket at the top. It's off the screen right now, but it's a little sprocket at the top of the menu. And then you can go to, you can go to fonts and colors and set that to what you want it to be.
Okay.
There's nothing for me to do here. I mean, I can always scalp or whatever just for the show, but not much for me to do here.
What do you look for, FT? What do you look for in? You're looking at your profile. You're looking at your areas of interest. So you're waiting for the market to come to these levels. Could you mention some of these levels that you might be looking at making a trade?
So, just 1 second. RPM. You see where it says order highlight? Go back to that screen. Okay. Go back to that screen.
Yep, highlighting orders and entry price. Do we want to highlight entry price?
You have to check that. You have to check that and turn it on.
So do we highlight orders and entry price or just entry price?
Let me see what that screen says again. It says, see where it says highlighting? Turn that on. And turn on, check that. And check the orders one as well.
All right. I'm going to save it as a default while I'm at it.
It doesn't. There's a glitch that they're working on. For some reason, it doesn't save it right now. But
okay, it's not too bad. It's easy enough to.
Let me put in an order and see. if it's actually highlighting.
So that's going to show up on our left side of our screen here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see 5 down there. Did you put 5 in at 49.25?
Yeah, it takes a while for it to show up, huh? Oh, there it is.
It should be about a 5-second delay.
Okay. Yeah, so all right, we got color now. So the same thing for your screen. So you got $100 on me. Johnny's question. Right now, the market has tested. It stopped 4 ticks of my next level up, which was 58 even. It stopped at 57, and it's pulled back to where the highest volume price of the day, plus the midpoint, plus the volume weighted average price are. So this is expected to be a chop area. I would normally take the midpoint trade going in the direction of the morning trend, but given that it's a confluence with all this, just the chop area from this morning, I don't see an edge just yet. Where would I participate? I would look to participate if it starts breaking below a 49.50. I'll start looking to get short into 46.75 and 44.75 from this morning, and I would be looking for new lows as well if that happens. If it breaks away from this area, there's a ton of volume that is committed that probably has to cover into the close. But right now, I'm expecting it to just chop around here.
All right. All right, let's see.
All right, so we did we established a 5 contract maximum, right?
Yeah.
Yes, upper. Yeah.
Okay.
We picked an awesome time of the day to do this.
Yeah,
it's just totally dead. That was a nice move down, though.
Yeah. It's something that's probably important to point out. As Johnny was mentioning earlier a few minutes ago, he was saying, how we want to try to extend these competitions longer than just 1 hour, like we had on the the first batch that we did last year. We had a lot of traders and a lot of competitors that would come on and did that with us. We probably had about 20 matches, and probably half of them said things like, normally I wouldn't have taken the first trade out of that entire hour that just went past, that they were on the show. So I think if we extend this, a couple hours maybe on some shows, or maybe even some 3 or 4 hour shows, and I know what people are thinking, I don't want to watch this for 4 hours during day trading radio. On those shows like that, we won't do that. We will actually broadcast it on the ultimatetradershowdown.com. And for those that watch day trading radio during the day, normal members and listeners, we'll check in, and see how things are going. And for anybody who wants to directly watch the entire match or leave it up, you could just go to ultimatetradershowdown.com and just watch the video from there. But that'll be for like the longer matches, to where the traders could get a chance to trade for maybe better part of an entire day, maybe, and that way it wouldn't single out just the people that are a lot better at small scalps. We can, the guy who's a scalper, he might get worn out and blow up his account. The guy who's an experienced trader with lots of patience might take the perfect 2 or 3 trades in that entire day, and his expertise, his abilities will certainly have be able to shine through that whole contest. So that's kind of what I was thinking. What do you think, Johnny?
Yeah, that sounds perfect. I mean, it is. I think the Ultimate Trader Showdown site, actually Netflix spiking a little, but it's going to be a good way to refer back to and let those contests play out.
And we could still have some short ones too. Short matches. The Fridays maybe.
It wouldn't be bad. I was thinking about, if you had the 4 DOMs up and you had, if you had a 4-on-4 and the winner, kind of went on to the next round, that might be the top 2 going to the next round too. That might be interesting.
Absolutely.
I could see it interesting, lining them all up and just, having, I like how you have the FT71 right, RPM right, you could have left, center, right, and that way we can just follow the people along. And it'll be good. What's to I find it exciting to find someone out there who really starts to make a name for himself. Not that FT71 has already made a great name for himself, but to see someone out there and see if he actually, how comfortable does that person feel in the market, and does that market react on a bunch of people following him into trades if he becomes a successful trader? Does that, FT, do you see that? Is the market too big for that right now, or is there a situation where a guy comes in and and seems to be making money, and he gets more and more of a following, and then if he says, all right, I'm buying here at 13.50.50, how many people does it take to make that market move from that level, or does it get absorbed?
Yeah, it depends on the market and the liquidity in that market. For the S&P minis, I mean, you're talking, you might, if everyone in here, depending on what size they trade, if they all sold the same price, they might move a market 2 ticks. But if you try to do that in a Dow, crude oil, Russell, you could launch a move doing that, because it comes across everyone's screens as, wow, volume coming in at that price, pushing, and it could cause a move. Now, if someone is that good, then they need to give me a call, because we might have a prop deal on our hands, maybe even a CTA. Maybe they can run a CTA for us or something. But yeah, I mean, it's always great to see people succeed and break their boundaries, and it'd be awesome if it happened on the show.
Excellent. So we are chopping around here at 13.50.
We got a couple of questions, FT, if you want to take some.
Sure.
Okay. Here's one from Shadow Husky, and he's asking more about if he signs up the demo account with you guys and he becomes a client, do you guys have any access to, do you allow access to your strategies, your particular, just tell them about it. I know you do. So what are they going to get, if they wind up switching their account over to you guys?
Well, what we're good at, I mean, we're a futures brokerage. We're an independent IB, and we have access to pretty much every platform under the sun that anybody would want to trade on. I'm not trying to create an FT only type of thing. I mean, every method works or doesn't work depending on how the trader looks at the market. But for those who are, just coming into futures and don't understand, I do have those webinars on my personal website that I've put out there now. It's been there for a couple of years at least, and that gives you a base from which you can build your knowledge in futures. And then in addition to that, our clients, what we do different really is that we create what's called a structured environment. Are you short again? Man, I'm talking and you're trading. We create what's called a structured learning environment, in that we do have a client-only chat room. There are people in the chat room in addition to DTR monitoring both, and ours is just focused on the market. I mean, we don't chit-chat. There's not much going on in there other than to discuss what's in front of us. In addition to that, I do live trading sessions. I call them client-only group trading sessions, where we just fire up. I show my screen, I show my chart screen, and just talk about the homework, talk about the areas, just like I do with you, RPM, when I come on. And then what we do best is monitor risk on a best effort basis. If I can prevent someone from losing 20 to 30% of their account on one trade, if I can do whatever it takes to do that. All right, it's coming into my area here. If I can do that, then I think we've gone a long way towards helping that person just stick around long enough to figure out what it takes to trade futures. So we don't just turn on your platform, give you $500 margins, and hope you make it, because I don't think that works. It's more of a support environment.
I just got stopped out. Took 50 back.
You still oh
No,
it's delayed. Okay.
Yeah, I let the bracket play out exactly instead of moving it. I wanted to move it up one tick, but I made myself not do it. It's just I had another question from Docklands. I remember Docklands. She's asking how to put on the orders, limit orders specifically in the platform, and I'm just getting started with it myself, but I can't show her with what you guys see on the screen, but I can drag the DOM up that I'm actually using here, and I can explain how easy it is. I've got brackets set here, so if I put an order on right now, it'll show up as a bracket with a sell and a limit and a stop already on there. But let's say, for example, if I wanted to put an order on here, it'll say left click limit. So if I wanted to put one at 54 even, 54 even here, I just single click with my left mouse and it puts the order on, and you can see it mirrored it over here on the UTS platform.
Yeah, you want to point out, RPM, that the orange that they see on the screen tells you where those orders are going to be before you click. So it gives you an idea of where your orders are going to end up being if you get a fill on that bracket order before you actually get filled. So if you have your stop or target backwards, you'll be able to see it on the screen before you actually get filled. It kind of gives you an indication with those orange lines like that.
And it looks like that stop took me out by one tick. Story of my life.
It's looking for 53.50s there. Where did it get to?
53.50, I think.
53.25 actually. Yeah.
That's where my
you stopped at the high tick.
Yep.
That always feels good.
Well, doesn't it? And I didn't put the stop there though. I allowed the bracket to go ahead and go in. What I should have done is I should have looked at the chart a little bit more and maybe put my order in there, and then would have had a stop above that. Now I'm just noticing something with the bracket system. You have a ratio, this sell limit factor 1, and then sell stop 1, and same thing with the buy side. What's the theory behind using
it's not a ratio. The factor describes how you want to measure the distance.
Okay.
So the factor could be in ticks, points, or dollars, depending on how your settings are.
Okay.
So you could change the factor that way. So a 1.0 factor means it's a 1 point.
1 point move away from your entry. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Madman says the reason why the market went up is because I stopped talking. So, I love it.
Don't let it get to you.
No, I love it. That's fine. As long as it's a reliable indicator, we can all build together. I'm all for it. All right, so FT, you've done a whopping 0 trades here.
I know. I mean, I could trade just for the show, but it wouldn't reflect how I trade. I mean, there's, I like that. I don't know if you've seen it. That picture that's been going around about, they have them for different jobs where it's like 4 boxes that describe what the job is. It says what I thought I'd be doing, and then it says what my mom thinks I do, what my friends think I do, what my clients think I do, and then in the bottom right it says what I really do, and it shows this trader who's like completely bored staring at the screen. And that really hits it on the spot as far as what traders do. I mean, you're just waiting for your areas. Otherwise, all you're doing is churning commissions and costs. And there's really nothing for me to do here. I was looking for 53.50 on a push up, and it didn't quite get there. So I just wait for the next thing. And by the way, that's where most people really fall apart in trading. They're just trying to make something happen. Here I am investing time. It's a casino, and I need to play. I need to roll the dice. Otherwise, it's not worth my time, and it just ends up costing money.
I'm getting ready to waste some more money here. Put on another short if it'll go up and catch it. And it's not interested right yet. I probably missed it.
How hard would it be for you to turn on the last price highlighter on the dome?
How do we get to that?
It's the same screen as before.
Settings?
Settings and then colors, and it's at the bottom next to save as default.
Last price color. Okay, so it's right now it's set to like a manila, like a yellow.
Yeah, that's it.
All right.
Fire that up.
It's already on. But I do not see it.
That's kind of odd. I don't see it on your screen.
It just filled, by the way. What color should I go? Maybe green?
No, just the last, the yellow, that light yellow is good enough. I see it on my screen, but I don't see it on yours.
I don't see it on this side either.
Yeah, just hit OK. I'm not sure why it's doing that.
I did, but I have like a gray ladder. The ladder is gray, and the actual text for the last price is in green. Let's see. This thing is. I was going to say, this thing is very configurable. I mean, I've never seen a platform with so many configuration settings. I like that.
So what are you now? Short again. Okay. Yeah, see, now you have the colors for your orders, and it's much easier to see what you're doing.
Yep. I like that. All right, so, all right, let me get back to this. Fonts and colors, last price color. And it's, let me just, for the heck of it, let me change it to something that we can see, like orange. Let's see if that does anything. No, it doesn't save. I don't know what I'm doing wrong here.
Yeah, I'm not sure why it's not saving it on. Not sure how you got both domes to show up like that in the first place, but
I had to do I had to do a little hacking on the back end there.
All right. Again, I'm not seeing anything to trade here. I hate to say it, but I could put on something just for fun, but I'm just going to bore you all to death.
Well, you know, we were talking about you know, analogies and stuff. You know, with trading, and one of the analogies that I was thinking about is like, you know, hunting. You know, you're sitting in a tree stand all day, and you know you have to feed your family, and so you have that desire to bring food home. You know, so people have a tendency, hunters have a tendency to take shots that they normally wouldn't take. You know, that's an example. You know, a lot of traders do that. You know, they feel like they need to trade because they need to make some money, and unfortunately that's when accidents happen, and a lot of times you get back what you had. The patience is probably one of the hardest things to learn. I certainly haven't learned it, but it's probably the most valuable, I would think the most valuable thing, because you're getting ready to beat me now and you haven't done anything.
And now we see how this market really works.
It's because I'm hungry.
With your analogy, you reminded me of that scene from Year One. Have you seen that movie with Jack Black, where at the beginning they're hunting for that wild boar and he goes running after it? That's exactly what happened there. He ran out of patience.
But and then somebody just sent me a private message, said, yeah, it's the same thing, but you do have to shoot if you expect to get anything at all. I guess that's true. Money Galore in our chat room here, Day Trading Radio Premium chat room, is asking you a question. Could I ask FT, how would you approach trading equities? Would you approach that at all in the same way that you trade the futures market?
Yeah, I would. I mean, it's the same. It doesn't matter what you're trading. Hang on. Hey,
guess what? We're even again. Well, actually, you're ahead because I just spent some money in commissions.
It doesn't matter what you're trading. Really, it's the same. The market behaves the same way. It'll continue to advertise prices lower, like trading lower and lower and lower until buyers come in, and then when buyers come in, the only thing it can do is then go the other way and test the other side before it does anything else. So stocks are a little bit different. There's some nuances. You know, that's the edge that futures have in that it's a kind of it's a continuous market. It's a level playing field more so than stocks. You don't have, a lawsuit against a company kind of messing up your trade, or some announcement, or sympathetic selling, in the sector, whatever. When you're trading futures, you're trading a huge group of stocks, if you trade stocks. If not, if it's crude oil or whatever, it's all about supply and demand, and that's really what I keep track of, is what's the supply demand equation in front of me. But I when I do take positions in stocks, I just do the same thing I do for day trading, except I use a much bigger time frame, like Johnny does with his homework. Just look at the bigger picture, move out to the 60-minute, move out to the daily, that sort of thing.
Do you trade equities still, or do you?
I don't trade them. I just hold them in a portfolio. Mm-hmm. But I don't I haven't traded equities in 10 years or something.
Wow. So I'm short again. I just put the sell order right where the stop was.
Maybe you'll get it back. What are you using? You're using a 4-tick stop and entry and target.
I just use the default, which doesn't really make sense unless you have your entries perfect, right? You would hope that you would have a target lined up bigger than you would be willing for a stop, or how would you look at that yourself?
That's a function of how accurate you are. So if your win rate is very high, it's higher than enough to cover commissions, like 60 or so percent or higher, then a one-to-one risk versus target makes sense, because overall you'll net, as long as you take every setup, you'll net positive, theoretically. But if like most people, you're about 50-50 or a little bit less, then you need to make the winners count. You need the winners to run, and you need to cut the losers short. Keeping a loser on is going to take away more than its fair share. Mm-hmm. And that's the difference. It's like painting. Should you use latex versus oil? It's just so many ways to cut this market up and trade it. It's kind of a personal opinion type of thing. Mm-hmm. That's why I always say there is no right or wrong way to trade. It's all in your mind. It's really in the mind.
Now, the other day we had you on, I think it was either a Friday or it may have been a Munchie show, and you were talking about how the perfect strategy, or at least the perfect setup as far as the way you have your platform configured, with the proper stops and everything in place, you could almost throw darts at the chart and could almost make money by just throwing basically just guessing where to put the entries. That was you were talking about that, right?
Was basically, my point was, and that's why I created the coin toss exercise. My point was, you could trade just about anywhere if you have your position sized right, if you have your risk in place. In general, it's not impossible, but it's hard to take the kind of losses that most people do, like I see our clients do, Mm-hmm. So with the coin toss exercise, they're different levels, but you can sit there and flip a coin, get long or short based on a head or tail, and take a 6-tick stop, a 12-tick target, and just do that. End up with, in general, I think most people fall, if they just flipped a coin, they fall in the for that particular exercise where the stop is half the target, you'd fall in the 30 to 35% win rate, and you still will probably end up flat on the account after 50 or so trades. Now, I'm not counting commission, because commission will then cut you out a little bit. But if you took, for example, I'll give you an example. One of the things I've done with clients is when I see somebody's really having a hard time, in an intervention, I would just get in and I'd say, okay, do this coin toss exercise. And I'd have them flip coins and so on. And I say, save your statistics from the trade analyzer about those trades, and let's go over them. And then when we go over them, in general, not always, in general, the coin toss actually beat their performance on their live account. You know, they have a better win rate, win percentage on the coin toss, and they have a better expectancy, meaning how much they make or lose per trade is better with the coin toss than with their live trades. And it just blows people away when they see that, and that's just the truth, you know. And people have a hard time believing that that's the case, but it is.
So if you add a little bit of skill in that, to where you better your odds on when you get those trades, and you keep those tight stops, or you keep that strict, you know, policy in place of 2-to-1 or whatever you come up with, then you've got a chance of making money at the end of this thing.
Yeah, well, your chances improve, we should say. Your chances improve. What gets people is that trade that, you know, they've done so much homework and whatever, they get the trade on, they're committed to it, they think they know what's going to happen, it doesn't happen, and they end up holding on to it because it's slowly, like the short here, for example. If I'd gotten short, it's moving so slowly upwards that you're going to get lured into holding this trade because it looks like it's going to come back, and it's just going to keep doing it. And all of a sudden, a trade that was supposed to cost you $150 is now $600 in the hole. Well, it'll take a lot of winners to make that up for just one trade, and that's where people fall flat on their face.
There's some crickets coming here.
Yeah.
The market getting a little pop. The Dow is up 125 points at this point. The Nasdaq's up 40 points, and the cash is showing 16.25 points higher. Here at 1360.99, that's the S&P cash. Now that last trade I just did worked out. I got the 1 point gain, and stop didn't take me out. If I had gotten greedy and moved it,
trading? Because you're trading on one lot, am I supposed to be trading on one lot, or
no? The maximum of 5.
At 5, so I can put all 5 on if I wanted.
Sure, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, just don't go over 5 at any one given time, I guess. But
still waiting for that trade.
I'm still up $50, but I made a lot of smoke and got bruised a lot, you know, trying to get to the $50. You know, it's like, you know, I guess trying to force something, you know, and of course you take commissions out, I'd be about break even right here, you know, so I think that's the most difficult part, waiting for the market to get the perfect setup. You know, Johnny talks about that all the time. You know, getting that perfect setup and having the patience. It's a constant battle mentally. You know, on wow, you know, the market is moving, not much here, but it is moving. You know, I got to make some money today. You know, and it's that, you know. Do you find that is? Do you hear that from your clients? You know, that they have a tendency to overtrade, or do you find that your clients are scared of it, or they overtraded and they got really close to blowing out, and then they're scared, or what kind of stories do you hear?
Generally it's pretty typical trader behavior. It's schizophrenic, right? They're scared, and then they get in, they commit to that trade they know is going to work, and then it doesn't work, and they lose a bunch of money. They hang on because they can't get themselves to take the loss or to go through the process of finding another trade. And then now they've lost, you know, their first trade, and they've lost, you know, $500-600. So now the risk-seeking side comes out to make that money back, and then they start to try to scalp, and then they end up just running up, you know, doing, you know, 30, 40 round turns and ending up in the same spot anyway. So you see both sides depending on how much pain they're feeling, because people associate, you know, euphoria or pain with trading when you really there should be neither. You know, it's as Mark Douglas said, the market does not give you happy upticks or sad downticks. They're just upticks and downticks.
Yeah. All right, this is a pretty good demonstration right here. I've got a short on. It hasn't filled yet, but our price is actually hit 6 or 7 times now where my order is, and it has not filled. And there, it just finally did. Now, a lot of people had some criticisms of the previous platform that, you know, that as soon as it tapped it, it was filled. And of course, this is a demo platform. This isn't real, but so much more realistic than the other platform we were using. We just watched that thing hit it several times and basically almost crossed through it before it actually filled for me.
Okay, this looks like it's setting up for me here.
Let me guess, you're going to go long.
No.
No. Okay, you know, that's good for me then. Hey, I got a 50-50 shot at having the same idea. Time to pick out a quarter or something to coin toss. I see you moving stuff around here. Ooh, you're going for it. You're gonna wipe me out here. He's doing 62.50 a tick. Now I don't see your I don't see your strategy because I don't see. Oh, I see your target, but I don't see your stop. Your stop must be off my board here.
No, my stop is manual.
Oh boy. Now see, that's where I can't. That's been my problem.
I don't recommend that. Don't recommend it, but it's how I trade. You know, I've got direct connectivity to the exchange and so on, so I have an edge. But I don't use actual stops because I'm active about managing the trade.
Mm-hmm. And I'm just added another order here to try to get one more.
We're going into the closing range, so be careful.
That is true. And it's banged on it 3 times. I still haven't gotten filled. Now the green is the price. There we go. It is filled again. I got 2 on.
Be careful.
Mm-hmm. So you guys out there watching, you know, you can see. Johnny, take care, buddy. Johnny's going to go ahead and take off. He's got a meeting, his special meeting tonight. Take care, Johnny. And we'll see you later and tomorrow.
Yeah, thanks, guys. FT, thanks for coming on and demonstrating and talking about this great platform of yours. And Paul, I'll talk to you probably later tonight, let you know how everything worked out.
Okay, sounds great.
And
take it
good
easy.
night. Thanks.
So far with the trade analyzer, it's telling me I have, with the 5 lot on, I have 15 ticks of MFE, meaning the trade has gone in my direction for 15 ticks net, which is 3 ticks on a 5 lot, and it's gone against me 1 tick so far.
Yep.
No scales. I've been in the trade for 2 minutes and 45 seconds. My average is 54.75. As soon as I scale, that average is going to change, and I'll tell you what it is. I think it would be really cool if we had that little trade analyzer window up there so you can see what the performance is.
Yeah, we'll have to work that out and get that working and figure out a way to display it nicely. All right, just to tell everybody how easy this thing is, I just combined my my stops, and I'm getting ready to combine my my limits, my limit fill price. You just drag the number and stack it on top of the other one, and the order changes just like that.
Yeah, the number of parentheses is the number of separate orders you have at that price. So what you have is 3 lots at three orders for 1 lot. Come on, I'd like to see a rotation expansion down here. I'd like to see this go 1.5 points.
Yeah, stochastics are supporting it. Looks like a down move to me.
As you mentioned, across the asset classes at the moment, very little in terms of news flow or market volume.
And we got about 35 minutes, or 35 minutes, excuse me, 35 minutes left today in the equities market.
Man, what is up with that risk alarm today?
Fed meeting tomorrow.
A lot of people are just...
And following the Guardian article and subsequent denial, volume has again died down.
These rally days are tough for everybody.
Very much within
People watching the show and they've seen us, but me and you both go short. So
I hope not.
They just stack their entire account on short with us.
I hope not, because really the bottom line is this trade for me is in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. And not a penny on the line.
Yeah. I don't know. It's funny because I'm actually, I'm feeling the same way as if I had an actual 5 lot on. The sim and real to me is, although I know there's no money on the line, I still want to see the same type of action I had anticipated. It's almost like I'm invested in a trade or whatever. All right, here, let's get some expansion down, baby. Still 15 ticks of MFE.
There we go.
20 ticks of MFE now. All right.
I'm out now.
Just got filled.
Yeah, you're going to manage yours, I see.
I'm going to take another one off. So I've got, my average now is 1355.75.
Yep.
So there's my stop at 50. So it would have to go up to 55.75 according to the trade analyzer in order for me to get flat on this trade and not make any money.
Right. And you've got 3 on still short, and it's still working in your favor at this point.
On the Spanish banking rate.
Yeah, looking for 52.75 now.
And I only took a point out of that, and I left the bracket on, just trying to show some discipline in both sides. If you decide to use a bracket, just let it work. But I can clearly see how, organically managing the trade, if your head is screwed on straight, and you're not panicking, I can clearly see how organically changing the trade or managing the trade as it's happening for, a clearly, a skilled trader like yourself, I can see how that would can definitely benefit you. But I have to start with a bracket because I want that stop to stay in there. As soon as I put it on, I want something to be there, because if it's not, what'll happen is that, news will come out or something, and all of a sudden, bam, and it's run right, up so high, that I'm in a panic. You know what I mean? I'd rather lose a couple $100 and then realize I just lost a couple $100 and then sit back and say, wow, how did that happen, and be flat, than having to figure out why I'm down $550 and what am I going to do? The thing keeps going,
Right.
And that's speaking from experience.
Remember, it should be, once the trade is on, it needs to be mechanical. You need to shift from overthinking it, because that's what you have to do before you enter the trade. You have to have your reasons for the trade, but once it's on, you just got to let it go. It's the market's responsible for the outcome of this trade, not you. The market is. You're responsible for putting the trade on. If I could somehow hypnotize our clients into believing that, they would trade better, I think. Generally I would expect them to trade better. But my statistics now, my theoretical average is now on the remaining 2 lot is 57.25. So the market has to go to 57.25, new high by a tick now, for me to lose all of the profits gained already and to end up with $0 on the trade. That's what the trade analyzer is saying. My MFE, which stands for maximum favorable excursion, that means from the time I put on the trade until the best possible price, the maximum I could have, there, I just got the 52.50 on the second tap, not on the first. The maximum I could have booked on this trade so far is 38 ticks. That's what the MFE is. And the maximum heat I took is 5 ticks, which was, as I said, it was a 5 lot. It ticked up, so that's heat of 5 ticks. That's MA, maximum adverse excursion. So that's what this is saying. It's telling me also the best scale out I've had right now is 9 ticks. I've been in the trade for 8 minutes and 51 seconds. And it keeps track of all that, and then it stacks it into a table for the day, and it tells you for the day how your performance has been.
I just put another one on. Just one. I'm hungry. I got to put food in the freezer.
No, you're up against the first hour's high. That's why I scaled out. I might even close this now.
You're beating me. You're up 462. I'm up one between 200 and 175, 187.
So now I'm modifying my stop up top to a 1 lot to reflect the position, and this right now is a runner. I'm looking for 3 points from my entry before I move my stop to break even and just let it go into the close.
So this trade analyzer is what's giving you all this data. This thing doesn't really tell you where to trade, but what it does is it tells you exactly what just occurred and what happened on the trade that you just put in, correct?
Right, and it keeps a log of those trades so that you can go back and look at, it says a lot of stuff, and I have some videos covering what it does, but it basically tells you, like, if by the end of the day I see that my maximum favorable excursion, MFE, in other words, how much money I could have grabbed on the trade versus the amount of heat I took, if that is upside down, then it's telling me that my entries really stink, that the market did not favor my entries at all. It just ripped right through my entry and took me out. So I had much more heat than I had in gains, right? So now I know I need to focus my effort on being more patient and my homework. Something's wrong with my homework. If my MFE and MAE are equal, then it's telling me that I've got a decent entry. It's probably in the middle of where I need to be trading. It's nowhere near the edge, and I need to change the scheme by which I trade. In other words, I need to look at booking profits sooner. You'll get that MFE and MAE being about equal on chop days, which means on chop days you need to, instead of waiting for that 2-point scale, you need to maybe go for a point or whatever. So that's the sort of information it tells you. It keeps track of the time in the trade, which for me right now is 11 minutes and 22 seconds. But it also keeps track of a thing called TSB, time standing by. And if your time standing by is really tiny, like a few seconds or a couple minutes, you're over trading. It's saying that there's no way you're going to get out of a trade and get a setup within a few seconds of getting out of a trade. It's basically saying you're probably trading without homework or without a plan, and you're just, trading in the middle of nowhere unless you're someone who loves to scalp. So when a client's in trouble, like when I hear the risk alarm go off and a client has lost a certain portion of their account, I pull up the trade analyzer and I look at what they're doing. And then I shoot them a message in the chat room. If they're in the chat room, I shoot them a private message asking, what is your plan for this trade that's getting you in trouble? And what I don't want them to do is get married to that trade and have it wipe their account out. Again, we can only do this on a best effort basis, but this is the idea. And the bottom line is, all I'm trying to do is do what I did for my prop guys, except do it for the public, for our clients, people who are willing to invest in us and being with us. And that's what makes us different. We're trying to help people. There's no guarantee of profitability, but we're trying to help people stay out of the way of themselves. Just try to help people stay out of trouble as much as we can. And that's what these systems are for. So you see the first hour high holding here. So I'll take these back to scratch if I have to, but I'm still looking for some downside.
I've got 3 on now. And I'm thinking we might push a little bit lower, hopefully. But really is sideways chop. I mean, look at I've got the moving averages on here. They're all sideways right here. We're all consolidated, squished inside of it.
Yeah.
It's really not telling us anything. I mean, I'm looking at stochastics are kind of flattened out on both our longer term and shorter term. You can even hear the pit volume is really lower.
There's no screaming, huh?
No, I mean, it's somebody you can hear one or two people just having a conversation. You know? I got a private message here. I won't say who it is, but this is something that's happened to me. He says that one of his a true story. Some of his earlier first trades, he didn't. You know, he tried to set his stops and his limits and all that, and he didn't combine them in the same order like, you know, like a bracket would do. And his limit hit, and then it came down and got the other order, and he didn't realize it, and he wound up with the contracts on. He didn't realize that they would go on in the other direction. Do you find that happens a lot where people don't understand the platform and because it happened to me too, you know, earlier, just messing around with it. I think that's a good reason to have the demo, you know?
Yeah, I mean, early on when we first started, you know, we've been at this for about, 6.5 months or something. Early on when people first came on, there was 1 or 2 instances of that. But you know what? I never, ever leave my trading machine without hitting the cancel all and without logging out. And the platform will tell you if you have working orders or an open position, it'll warn you. It'll say, hey, you have an open position. You might want to close that out before you leave. And I think folks just forget to cancel stops. You know, they kind of, the stop is off the screen, so they get up and move away. And it's a lot like keeping your car in drive, opening the door and just walking out, you know. You need to put it in park. You need to make sure the car's locked when you walk away, and your trading platform's the same, you know. Oh, you're trying to catch up now, huh?
Yeah, I just got this 3 filled, and I just put another one on, inspecting a little bit faster push lower here. And one more tick. Come on, come on, come on. All right, tapped it.
All right, this 50, I'm bid at 50.75. That's just ahead of the midpoint. And that's where my exit is right now. I'm trying to front run the midpoint. It might run through and it might make new lows, as I was saying earlier, but I don't really care. I just care about the fact that I've mitigated risk on this trade, and I've you know, it's just another trade. So far, my MFE now is 44 ticks. So from the time I put this trade on until now, I've been able to collect 44 ticks maximum, and I've taken 5 ticks of heat in total. So you know, you could see the risk reward on this trade has been very high. It's a ratio of about 9 to 1 so far, and that's what we want to see. You know, we want to try to get those statistics to kind of reflect a lot of favorable excursion and as little heat as possible. That's what all the homework's about.
I'm just trying to get out of this one with a little bit of there it goes. So I'm at $300 and I'm flat.
Now what I could do here, by the way, my theoretical average is at 1362 now. The market has to go a long way to take out this trade for a scratch right now.
But you keep using that as a good point. You know, that's a good point. But you wouldn't want let that happen either. You don't want to take you wouldn't want your profits to dissolve, especially with just one car, wipe out 6 or 7 cars worth of, you know, nice profits in the correct direction, right? So.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't do that. But it also means that if I wanted to put a stop in and move away, wherever I put my stop, as long as it's below 1362, I'm in profit with the trade. Mm-hmm. And that's what's key. Now, one thing I do, which I didn't do here, just because I'm trying to keep things simple, is I campaign around the position to improve that average and to book more profits. But I don't want to show an example of something that people might not understand and try to do. But basically, I have a position on from 54.75, and what I'll do is I'll trade around it in this chop. I'll just keep trading around it to keep improving my average as the market sits there.
So when you say you'll campaign, you mean you basically hire a bunch of people to stand around with a bunch of signs saying "Buy me, buy me, buy me."
Occupy Wall Street, Occupy Vankar.
Occupy 53 half.
Yeah. No, I'm taking what's already there. And campaign comes from where did I see that? Man, I first got exposed to that way back, like in '02 or something. But essentially what you're doing is you're taking the profits you already have and you're trading around the position to take advantage of, essentially what you're doing is you have a position on and you're scalping around where the market is to just collect ticks and to bank them as part of your profit set for this trade until the trade actually plays out. It's an advanced way to manage a trade, and that's why I don't want to get into it, because I don't want to confuse everyone. Boy, the Vankar chat room sure is quiet. Let me see if anybody's still here. Oh, okay. Still waiting for this awesome one lot to tag the midpoint. We're back at the most traded price for the day at 51.25. This is the most traded price so far in the day. 81,768 contracts traded during the day session at 51.25. That's called the point of control.
Very interesting.
And we're stuck. So the market has moved back into balance here, and that's why we're getting chopped.
And I just got filled at one more.
Man.
Well, I just entered.
You know what?
It's going to go against me.
I'm going to try to pull you. Did you get the demo through us? You did, right?
My demo?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got all your passwords to every account you have.
I want to. I want to pull up. Can you Skype me your login and password so I can pull up the trade analyzer for it? I want to shoot you a picture of what you've done so far.
Okay, so you want to look at the one for
the demo that you're trading.
Okay, all right. It's.
I'll post it in the room.
That's the one right there, and I think it
Where is it?
I just sent it to you in Skype. That's the username, and then the password.
Are you sure you're sending it to me on Skype? Oh, I see. You sent it to the group. I got you.
Oh, that's all right.
Okay, gotcha.
And then that's the password there.
Let me take a screenshot of it.
I installed the trade analyzer thing, but I didn't quite get it figured out. No.
So your average on this particular trade here right now is it is okay. So
well, I just have one car on, so
yeah. So here I'm going to take a screenshot. I'm going to post it of what you've done so far.
For the whole show so far?
Yeah, for this whole run so far,
okay.
What you've done. So maybe you can pull it up and kind of throw it on the screen for a second in a browser,
okay.
Or your viewer. Here it is. I'm posting it in the room. There's the image of it.
Well, gee, thanks, Gas.
So I posted it in the futures room, and for those who can't, who are not part of the chat room, might want to look at it. So maybe you can show it for a little bit over the chart in the middle.
Okay. I got it right here. And by the sound of the crickets, does not sound good for my last trade.
It's just one cricket.
That's true. He's on campaign. So here's the thing that the analyzer that FT's just sent me here. Okay.
Yeah, there it is. So.
Yep. Explain it.
So that's showing you every trade you've taken so far. These are the statistics for the day for trades that are complete. So you can see how many ticks you gained or lost, the trade number, what time you took it, how much it went for you, how much it went against you. That's MFE, MAE. BSO is your best scale out, how far your best scale out has been on any given trade. The max position you put on. So you've traded a max of 3 so far today. TIT is time in the trade, how long you've been sitting in the trade. TSB is time standing by. So between your first and second trade, you stood by for 9 minutes, lost 4 ticks, and then the gain loss per trade, and then the running total. And then that's for the daily tab. The chart tab up top tells you, just represents all of that in a bar chart. And then the current tab up top gives you the statistics for the current trade, which I'm looking at right now.
Yeah, it just finished, by the way. I just made profit on that one. It worked.
Yeah, so trade number 9, which just got added to your daily chart, like the one you have, lasted 3 minutes 45 seconds, 1 lot short. You made 4 ticks on it. You're up 32 ticks on the day so far.
In a dead market.
Yeah, pretty good.
Not too bad. $400 profit minus some commissions. No, didn't expose more than 3 cars at one time.
How much have you traded so far? You've traded,
I'm guessing probably 20 cars, 20 round trips, 20, 22 maybe. Maybe less. I don't know. You should know.
You like to live on the edge, don't you?
I don't know. I mean, it was, well, you put 5 on and then took 5 off, and, you know. Well, yeah, so you're going to have, when you're done, you have, what, about 10 round trips, right?
So far, let me see what I've done. I've traded.
Progress, and we'll continue talks tomorrow.
So far, it shows I've just sold 5 and bought back 4. That's all I've done so far.
So I did 3 and 3, 2, 2, 1, and 1. Hunger.
I know you're a hungry hunter.
Yep. And now I'm gonna.
Yeah, we certainly chose a pretty dead afternoon for this, but it wasn't too bad.
Well, you know, when you really, I mean, we complain about the market being kind of choppy or dead, but you know, when you really think about it, man, from 3 o'clock to now, we had the ES moved from what 49. I mean, from around 50 to 55, and now back to 52. I mean, that's a good, about 5 points move here in the market. There's back in the day, and I know you remember this, the whole day would go by and the market wouldn't move 3 points on the ES.
I know. In 05 and summer of 05, I think the 7 points was the typical range for the day. That was brutal. You had to go find like crude oil or something to trade to get some movement.
Yep. You have to send somebody to the, you had to send somebody to the exchange with a terrorist attack just to get the damn thing to come down and fill you.
I know. My guys and I used to sit in the room and make pigeon noises. Just sit there and go, meaning your order just got filled by a pigeon. You sent it out to the exchange. That's how slow it was. You're just using pigeon traffic.
Shadow is saying, wouldn't 5 sells and 5 buys be 5 round trips? Yes, you're right. That would be. And I should have held on to that like you did, it looks like.
Nothing to do, man.
Now you're catching up. So you basically will take that one off if it looks like it's going to pop and start taking your profit back. If not, you're going to hang on to your original target and get as much out of it as you can.
Till the wheels fall off, because that's the trade plan, right? My trade plan is to take them back to the midpoint of the day. And if I violate that trade plan, then who knows what I'll do next, right? The market has not proven the short at 54.75 wrong yet. It has not done anything to tell me that something's wrong, take your trade off. So my only choice is to keep it on. There, I just got filled at 50.75, and the trade is done.
And you're flat, and I'm flat. You're up 562.50, and I'm up 400. We both had great little sessions there.
Yeah, it's not bad. Man, it's amazing the delay between the actual live trade and the what's showing on the screen. With the live stream,
it should be about 5 to 7 seconds is the average. And having a live stream, obviously there has to be some built-in buffer with that, because you can't download the whole thing like a YouTube video ahead of time, and and have built-in problems for buffer for latency. So if there's latency in our broadcast, there has to be a certain delay that's built into that. I keep hearing dinging noises, and I'm not sure what that is. I haven't moved or done anything.
Dinging noises?
Yeah, it's like ding, ding. It hits a certain level or whatever, and I don't know if it's because I'm logged into that master account and there's a bunch of.
Yes.
Okay.
That's probably why you're hearing everyone else's fills.
Okay.
On the demo.
Okay. Yeah, I keep getting these boxes that are popping up saying some kind of risk limiters or something like that or whatever.
Yeah.
And I just hit, exit trade or sell.
You're basically logged into our back end as if you're a trade desk manager or a risk manager. So you're getting to see everything that's going on.
Yeah.
All the errors, everything.
I can't change anything, but I can watch the demo accounts. I can't make any writing changes like place trades or only on the accounts that I have. But it is pretty cool that thing that you guys, that dashboard that you guys use on a daily basis. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I just want to make sure people understand it's not because it's only demo accounts, the ones from the people who want to practice. It's not actual. I don't see anything for actual accounts. I don't want people freaking out.
Yeah, no, you're not getting live accounts. No, we're not going to have that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so RPM is not watching your trade.
No. It just is like demo 36 59 91 18 or something. That's all I know about you. If you're if you're out there.
Yeah, look at that. I got one tick off the high, and I got the low tick there, right? That must make me a champion on some level. Not. You're as good as your last trade, as they say in this business.
Now, yep. If you're really, really, really hungry right now, you could force yourself to do something here at the close.
A truly disciplined man speaking.
No, the hungry man is speaking. I was talking about me. Because you're ahead right now. So if I wanted to beat you right now, I'd have to figure out a way to do it. And that may make you kind of, counter that by putting trades on too, That's I don't know which way to go here, though.
We're up against the mid. Now remember, 49.50. If we can get through that, as I was saying when Johnny was on, if we can get through that, we might hit a slipstream to 47, to 47 quarter.
Guess what? I'm trying to catch up now, FD. I took another short. There we go.
Whoa, you're loading them up. 4, huh?
Yeah. This is what we have to do. This is what's cool about the UTS. What is really going to be neat, though, is when we get the real accounts going and all of Johnny's money just sitting there percolating, and evaporating in 1 minute and then building up the next, and then some wild trader who doesn't care because it's not his money. You guys are gonna hear some noises out of the Rockstar on the air. I guarantee it that you've never heard before. He's gonna be making sounds that it's gonna be like, because no matter what, if the market is going against both of the trades, or both of the traders, it's going to be a costly Rockstar day for sure.
So is he putting up the live account? So he's basically being a prop.
Yeah, he's
prop owner, basically.
Yep. He's going to put them both up. Yep. All right, so this is going against me here. Let's see here. What can I do?
What can you do?
Yeah, add another one.
What else? What else to add your one lot that you have left? I mean, what else? What else would any trader do?
Whatever. What do you?
Is max out your leverage, right?
Yeah. Yep. Hey, Vester, maybe Vester tell me what to do here.
This is where you log into a chat room and look for advice.
Yeah. I'm gonna either blow up or I'm gonna make some money here. We got about 5 minutes left. Hey, FT, do you guys have that box that pops up that says your account has been locked out, or whatever? Does that pop like it does on live accounts?
It's on your demo?
Yeah.
What we should do is actually cut your demo down to like $5,000 and make you just trade that.
Yeah.
And then that way, when you chew through it, it'll start giving you pop-ups.
I've got 7 on by accident, so by default I just lost. So
that's it, you cheater.
No, it was an accident. I put the thing.
That's it. I'm throwing 48 on in a second.
So you just beat me. I put 7 on by accident. Of course, I did cancel that trade, right? So in the past rules, if that trade went on, if it were canceled immediately when noticed, we were okay. So can I keep going, guys? I'm going to have to get a consensus in the room. Yeah, I was short 7 cars there, Mustang, and I got right out of that. If there's no objections, I'd like to continue. I need to. I'm hungry.
Thumbs up, thumbs down from the Emperor.
Yeah. And they said, okay, all right. They say I can do that. I see what happened too. All right, there we go. Back in. Lose some more. I'm short again. Yeah, Anthony says wait for the yeah.
And he goes to 5 lots immediately. Roll the dice.
Goodness gracious, is that what that means?
Love
it. and now, of course, like the true hungry trader I am, as this thing runs up and starts to tag 52, I will move my stop up to 53, and as it runs up higher, I'll move it to 54, and then I'll say to hell with it and take the stop completely off.
Keep adding, and then hold through the close. Wait for the margin call, and then you have a day to get your money in. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's what some people do. It's insane. Amazing how trading provokes some really
crazy behavior.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you're driving your car off of a cliff, and you're lucky enough to have time to jump out the window and land in the ice cold water, but instead you floor it and climb on the dash. It doesn't really make sense, but that's the way human nature is. It's just determination, I guess.
5150. So if this climbs out of 5175, you're toastage.
Yeah.
5175.
Oh boy, here we go.
Bid. 5175 bid, and
I'm going to owe you some money here in a minute. 2 minutes left. Well, a minute and a half left. It looks like. And you're doing exactly what you should do, is just sit there and just watch the day finish.
Nothing for me to do. I wish there was an edge for me to trade. I just don't see it.
Well, you certainly don't need to in a 2-person competition where you're up $500. That's for sure.
Well, it's just one trade so far. One trade, 5 lot. You got 1 minute. 1 minute warning.
Now, when you went into that trade, all in when you first entered, but you took off the risk as you went along, and you pulled off your profits, right?
Right. That's how I usually trade.
Okay. I might start taking off my losses that way.
I tell you what, take your 5-lot stop and just make it into 1 lots and just spread it up the book.
Yeah. It may not start. We might get a slam down here. Let's see.
Yeah.
We may. You know, we're hopium.
It might come back down to 51 here at the last 15 minutes. You do not want this 51.75 bid, though.
Now the market is closed right now, and I just got filled, and I'm flat. 375.50. So, but see, I was at $400, and I forced myself to try to make another trade, and it's so typical of what can happen to the average trader. You know, you can be up for the day and then give it back. I mean, I know that I've heard stories of people saying I was up $7,000 today, and I gave it all back and finished the day down 700. You know,
that happened.
And that wasn't a swing from the night before. That was actually them working their way up, and they have $7,000 profit, and then went and got some lunch, came back, and, you know, rubbed their hands like, all right, let's do this some more, you know, and gave it all back, you know.
It's because they see that money as house money. It's never house money. You've earned that money. You took the risk to earn that money. But people think, oh, I'm just playing with the house's money. There's no such thing as a house's money. It's your trading account. And it allows them to get complacent. Overall, the damage when that happens is not the $7,000 plus the $700 negative there on the day, plus commissions and fees. It's the emotional capital. It's the fact that now you can't trust yourself going forward to do the right thing. And that is the most precious thing to a trader, believe it or not, more so than how much money you've got in your account. If you can't trust yourself to do the right thing, then your monkey's going to come out and you're going to be having this conversation in your head, and you'll be foggy while you trade. So people who hit their daily loss limit lose more than, you know, just the day's losses. They lose the fact that they are not able to perform very well the next day. See that 51.75 bid, and here it goes. This is what I was warning you about.
Yeah, and mine filled fine like it was, and I didn't move my stop, and I didn't move my target. So I stuck with my, you know, wasn't probably the best plan, but at least I stuck with what went in there, and I didn't let the emotions, you know, change that. But I really, my problem is I like your approach to going ahead and getting in your trade, all in what you're, you know, willing to get in. You don't add to a loser and stuff like that. You just get in, you get your position, you know, in place, and then you start taking off your risk as it's coming in your favor, right? So I like that, but I'm trying to figure out how to incorporate some sort of stop mechanism that can accommodate that organic, you know, real-time management, you know, and because I have to have some kind of stop that's going to always be there, that's going to keep me from losing a lot. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of people are kind of, they like to do it the organic way of actual managing it, like, you know, there's an art form to it, but then they're faced with that emotional problem, you know, of the stress and the pressures and not being able to make rational decisions when things are going against them right there in front of them. You know? Yeah,
and you see this in every occupation, where at the very beginning when you're learning, pretty much everybody's going to try to convince you to follow some sort of a routine where there's less thought in the process. Just do it this way. Do it again and again and again, so that you get to see it work. You get to kind of what's called internalize the process. And then over time, once you've got that down pat, you can then start to get fancy and manage a trade around it, all that stuff. The problem is people never get out of stage one. They never get over the idea that I've got to do the homework, wait for the market to come to me. I don't have to go to the market. Like what I would describe the way you're trading today, nothing against it, but you're going to the market. You're trying to find the setup. You can be profitable doing that, but most people just don't have the composure and the discipline to be able to manage that. And so I prefer to wait for the market to come to me, and I prefer to get in areas where the market has to work extra hard to take me out. I want the market to really make an effort. I mean, that's the difference between one 5-lot trade. As you saw here, it is a demo after all, but this is a normal trade that I would have taken. One 5-lot trade, one tick of heat, and I took out of the, 45 ticks I had available to me as a profit, my MFE, I took 45 ticks of profit. I closed the trade for 45 ticks. I took one tick of heat, 5 ticks of heat on a 5-lot, or one tick on a 5-lot, and I took the full profit available to me. That's what I'm looking for, and I'm looking to do that multiple times in a day. With larger size, but I'm not used to trading 5 lots. But really, 5 lots is plenty because it gives me enough scale outs to mitigate risk. And that's all I'm looking for. And if people can just kind of do that, just find your spot, wait for the market to get there, and get in there, cut out the risk if you can, scale out if you can, and just let the plan play out. Don't micromanage it. Most people will get in there and they'll move their stop, they'll move their target, they'll split their target. It's just they're doing a lot, and really, you're just messing with all the effort that you made coming up with that setup in the first place, and that's a typical problem because they don't believe in what they're doing.
So if someone wanted to really take the the perfect have a plan like you had with that particular trade, you took it, you stuck with it. Would you say that the one thing that maybe someone could add would just go ahead and put a hard stop in there somewhere just for that protection and keep them from having just something really horrible happen against them, and then still scaling out by manage risk and
manually? Yeah. When I've traded remotely, I used to travel a lot more than I do now, but when I've traded remotely, what I do is I do have an automatic disaster stop of, say, I think I used to use 12 points. I used to use a day's range plus 25% on entry because I would be, I'd be on a laptop at a hotel or a cafe somewhere or something, and by the time I got to the phone and got through to the clearing firm and got myself out, who knows how far the market could move. So I would have an automated, and you could do that with this platform with that bracket order. You can set up an OCO that just throws a disaster stop out there. That's a good way to go.
So for those out there that want to know what OCO, or they're wondering what OCO is, order cancels order, and that will prevent what we were talking about earlier when that member mentioned to me that he manually put his exit and his stop in there, and his stop why not turn it into an order after his limit on the other side filled. The OCO would associate the two trades together, and one would cancel the other, right?
Yeah, when one gets filled, be it your stop or target, it automatically cancels the other. So some people call it one cancels other, or there's a different name for it. I forget what it is. But that's what it is. It's the two orders that are put out there are related to each other, and with our platform, those orders sit at the server. They don't sit on your machine. So if you put an OCO, so like RPM, got short, and he had an automatic 4-tick stop, 4-tick target. If he had been knocked off the air because of his connection, when his target or stop gets filled, the other side gets canceled at the exchange, on the server side. So it's independent of the machine. That's a huge plus. And
it is, yeah. Very
few platforms have that, feature where it'll automatically cancel it out. Under normal circumstances, you put out, you get a fill, you have a 4-tick stop, 4-tick target, and then your machine gets knocked off the air. And what happens is your stop gets filled, then your target's still sitting out there, and it could get filled too, or the opposite.
And often you don't, that person has no idea what's going on in the market right then because they just got knocked off the internet or the power went out or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, it's freak out time. But at least this way, you've already set out the parameters for the trade, and you can just relax because you know that one side is going to cancel the other, and you're good to go.
Right. And I guess for that matter, even your brokerage offices could actually be out of power, out of internet, and that order's still on the actual exchange. Right?
Yes.
So
yeah.
So you got pretty much every bit of safety net you could possibly imagine put in place when you use that. So that's good. So I guess it would just be a factor of the particular trader or individual figuring out what is acceptable for a worst case scenario risk like that for themselves, and coming up with that reasonable number to where it wouldn't normally get hit. But in case a disaster, you don't want to lose your internet and then come back later and see that your massive catastrophic stop hit, you just lost 50 grand. I mean, but the good thing is you still got 25,000 left.
Or even worse, and this has happened to me in the past with some other platforms where your stop gets hit, and then by the time you get on, your stop got hit, and then the market turned around and filled your target, and the market's running against you. So you lost on your stop plus your target.
Both of them.
Because it didn't get canceled.
Right.
So hopefully this was, I need to hop off, but hopefully this was, this kind of demonstrated how this Ultimate Trader Showdown is going to work. You did some pretty good trading there, although you definitely like to go out and hunt with a machine gun and
blindfolded.
Blindfolded, yeah. But you can see that this, we now know this was kind of a test today. We now know that it's pretty effective. So
yeah,
I'm looking forward to when others are able to get on, and I'm looking forward to watching that.
Yeah, I think it's going to be great, and I've been part of a lot of these, because either our guest trader wasn't able to do it or whatever. I'm really looking forward to some members stepping up and saying, "Hey, I want to do this," and to do that, guys, you're gonna have to be a Day Trader Radio member. We're gonna try to keep this, the members only, but definitely take up the demo opportunity there. Underneath your video screen on the Day Trader Radio site, you'll see the Vankar link. So FT, what do they need to do? Basically just follow that and then sign up for the demo, and
yeah, our banner, that yellow banner, is always there. Just if you need to get a demo, just click on that banner at any time. It takes you to our website. From our website at the top, there are two buttons that say try a demo or open an account. You can always grab it from there, or if you need more information, you can kind of cycle through under trading platforms and see all the trading platforms we do support. But try the demo. It's really an outstanding platform. I wouldn't be trading on it if it weren't. And we hope to see it satisfy everybody's needs.
Yeah, I've got 4 of the platforms open right now. I'm signed in 4 different times and broadcasting the show off of this mediocre, it's not lightweight, but it's not, it's 2 years old, machine. I have absolutely no lag, no problems whatsoever with both sides. I've got the charting open and a bunch of other stuff, and I can tell you right now the resources that it's using on this machine are 1% of what it would have been on the other platforms, and it hasn't crashed, it hasn't been sluggish, it hasn't done anything weird like freeze my mouse. I'm really looking forward to, for no other reason, just doing the Ultimate Trader Showdowns with it. It's going to be a pleasure, and certainly as a reliable trading platform, I think that we can all look forward to it. Those out there that have not tried it yet, I definitely want you guys to give it a shot. Now, having said that, we've talked about platforms. I know you got to go here, but you guys also interface with a lot of the big name third-party platforms like multi-charts.
In addition to creating our own technology, we're going to have our own trading platform with our own custom stuff on it soon. But we have Ninja Trader, we have Market Delta Trader, CTS, X Trader, Trade Navigator. We support multi-charts. We support Market Delta charts, Investor RT, Sierra. That's the beauty of being an independent broker. We can put you at various clearing firms depending on what you want. If you're already with Mirus, and you want to switch over, that it's just a piece of paper you fill out, and your account comes over to us, and you become part of the community in a chat room and the growth that we're going through. Nice. Same if you're with AMP or whomever. It's very easy to switch people over. We support whatever platform is out there, really.
Right, except for one.
Well, if a brokerage has a proprietary platform, we can't support that. But I'm sure we can. I'm sure we have something that'll work.
All right, buddy. Hey, thanks a lot. You won hands down, and you did it like a real pro. And I was just running all around, nipping at your ankles like a rabid rat or something, I guess. But I guess. I did all right, but we had fun anyways.
Not too bad. All right, I'll talk to you soon.
All right, buddy. Take care now.
Take care.
All right.
Nice day, everybody. Take care. Bye.
All right, so that was the mock-up version of the Ultimate Trader Showdown number 2. Of course, ultimatetradershowdown.com. And we're going to be, obviously we're going to be picking some traders that have filled out and got onto the. Yeah, that's right. Sad, Gas. RPM's first defeat. That is my first defeat out of all the UTSs. And you know what? Even that said, it was really, didn't lose anything. Both sides made money. So, but definitely an example right there how over trading is a gamble. You wind up can losing giving some of it back. I think I was up 425 at one point. I think I gave some of it back, and honestly, that's probably less trading than I would have done in real life during the same period of time. So, but I'm getting there. I'm working on it. So, but it just goes to show you a real pro up against me. And he probably. He may not have even traded in that range there on what is real money, normal circumstances. So he was forced to put something on, I'm sure, just for the magic of live show here. So, but I think that's the cool thing about this UTS. When we get this thing going, again, you guys that haven't watched it, haven't been able to see it. We'll get a chance to see, and feel that tension, when it's, going down to that last minute, and one guy's, ahead, and then the other guy's catching up, and then you get kind of forced to do things you normally wouldn't do. So that's kind of cool, to watch that excitement and to see it actually happen, and that's not the correct way to trade under that kind of pressure. But in reality, I think, as a trader trying to make money, trying to put food on the table, if you will, with that analogy, you do feel that pressure to trade. This just comes in a different way, and obviously with paper money, the danger isn't really there, and neither is the reward. But later on, as those results start to filter down and we start seeing who's the better ones, we're going to do it for real. So real loot on both accounts, left and right, and we get to take it from there. So I'm excited about it. I hope you guys are too. ultimatetradershowdown.com. There's a sign up form on there too. You guys need to get filled in on that just to be on the UTS site as a member of the UTS site as well, so you can be a participant. And of course, Day Trading Radio participation, Day Trading Radio Premium membership is a requirement for you guys to do that too. Wouldn't be fair for us to allow outsiders to do that. Not at least at this stage in the game. Maybe at one point, but right now, Day Trading Radio Premium members only. So I'm gonna go ahead and sign off here, guys. We appreciate. Yes, it was recorded. I will put this show in the Day Trading Radio forum, and everyone will get a chance to take a look at it and watch it, review it. And if you guys have any questions or whatever, just ask away in the chat room. I'm in there at RPM, of course, or FT71 may be in the chat room, or Vankar_Anthony in our chat room. If you guys want to reach out and you have any questions about getting that demo going with him, And I know a little bit about it. You know, I'm getting started with it. So if you can't find those guys, you know, feel free to ask me any general questions I might be able to help with as well. I'll definitely give it a try and help you out. So with that, everybody, I'm RPM for the UTS mockup number 1. This is UTS version 2. This June 19th, this Tuesday, of course, 2012. And it's right here about 20 minutes after 4. The markets are closed. It looks like the ES is right here at 1350.20. The Dow closed at a positive of 95.50. The NASDAQ closed on a positive 34.43 at 29.2976. The S&P cash, S&P 500 cash closed at 1357.90, a gain of $13.20. So I want to thank everybody one more time for being Day Trading Radio members and listeners. And take care, everybody, and we'll see you later. RPM out.